Good morning, y'all. Last night was a mess. I almost felt like I was back in 2001 with the 9/11 Twin Tower attack. So I'm laying in the bed in the same way I heard the news going on in my sleep in 2001, which was the Twin Towers coming down or the attack. I was pregnant at the time, which she is now 19. So I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? This is when I was pregnant last time with Twin Towers. I felt like that this morning. But this time, it was the protesters, y'all, ran the police into the CNN headquarters. Ran them into the headquarters. I was like, what the hell is going on? What is going on? These people are taking it, I don't want to say too far, because I don't know what state of mind they are in, but it's really blowing me how far they are going. And like I say, I understand. I understand because people are really getting tired of the police not being held accountable for the things that they have did to the black generation. And I'm looking at it like these people are not playing, you know. And then when you look in the background, you see some people that you see I saw was serious and they look like they wanted to do some harm. And then you see somebody there doing a cabbage patch. You know, I'm like, okay, so some of them looking like they really protesting and some of them look like they just want to be seen on TV. So y'all just be careful out here. Be careful out here. And I know I'm not gonna put myself in any danger. And people just taking it. I'm just gonna show y'all what I woke up to. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all what I woke up to this morning. It was just a short time ago that they started shooting what appeared to be BBs at us. I was struck with a BB pellet. It's unreal to witness here, Chris. This police line, we just saw an officer extracted. An officer was down. We don't know exactly how they were injured. Another officer here that was standing on these steps took some glass in the arm. These demonstrators are ready to confront these law enforcement officers. You have law enforcement in heavy tactical gear, protesters that are, clearly ready. You just see something else happen there. Another demonstrator threw what appeared to be a large object at one of those SWAT officers. They're throwing signs at the police officers, and they're not showing any sign of dispersing. And about 15 minutes ago, they gave an order from the armored vehicles that had shown up here just outside. Those images, I'm not sure if you're looking at them. They gave the demonstrators an order to disperse. It was then that we saw more. So we heard over the radio that this was happening. They've broken out the windows here and are continuing to throw objects. There's just another projectile fire. Appear to be a full water bottle. But there are officers that we can report. At least 2 officers have been injured. One of them appeared to be seriously injured. He was being dragged out. You can see what's left behind of this glass partition that separates the street. These demonstrators are now launching something that appears to be some sort of smoke grenade that they're throwing inside CNN Center right now. Don't try it. Don't try it. Out, guys. This is live happening in front of your eyes. They've just thrown, I think, Powerade or some sort of Gatorade or liquid, guys, on the officers. These officers are being confronted. And these demonstrators, they know what's on the other side of this. They've been warned. These officers have already fired and deployed tear gas into the crowd. We saw another with a long gun fire what appeared to be a rubber bullet at another demonstrator who had thrown a large object. You see these demonstrators are walking inside CNN Center at this point. It seems as though this man might be detained. He's being detained. Let's see if we can talk to him. Another rock just thrown there at police. We're right behind the police line. These are very large objects. Police being hit. This demonstrator
Let's see if we can ask him why he was here, guys. Hey, why did you show up here today? Why are you here? Why did you come here? What made you show up? We need to be changed. You know, our country is not black, white. Officers need to be trained better. Up here?
No, Nick, you still there? You okay?
Hey, yeah, sorry. I didn't know if I was taking off the air. This is an live active situation.
What did he say? I couldn't hear all.
That there. I was trying to get an interview with the demonstrator. He said he wanted to, police can do better. Police can do better. I'm here for change. We've heard the chants of no justice, no peace. Another large object just thrown there at CNN. This is our home, Chris, you know. This is where we come to work every day. Journalists who are trying to tell the truth, trying to deliver information. It's one of the noble parts about society, and these demonstrators have decided to come here today to take out their frustration and their anger, not just on the police, but it seems on our CNN center as well. These police officers now are advancing. They're grouped together as those objects continue to fly, being blocked by SWAT team shields. There appears to be one person in front of the demonstrators, Chris. I don't know if you can make him out on camera. He's got a white bandana on with his shirt off. He's trying to keep his crowd back and to try. It appears as though this is happening right live in front of us, that they're understanding the gravity of the situation here and what might escalate next.
So, Nick,
as this is happening, you're seeing just next to us, Chris, they're taking objects out of McCormick and Spix to try to remove large objects away from the demonstrators. Go ahead, Chris.
Nick, are the cops that are inside the CNN Center the only cops that are there, or are there more cops on the back side of this crowd?
Giving you a different vantage point, a different perspective. There's a larger police presence, but what has happened here in the last 20 minutes is, as the demonstrators who are pushed out in front of the big red letters out there in front of CNN Center, pushed into the main intersection, they started to move, sort of down more towards Centennial Olympic Park. And they took advantage of police not being in this area. They started to throw rocks at these windows. And it's just before we joined you live on air that this situation unfolded. It is unreal to see this. I know I keep using that word, but you never think something like this is going to happen here. Atlanta has been historically a city that has held demonstrations even during the rash of police shooting of African American men in 2015. This was a city that held large demonstrations, but they were by and large peaceful. This is nothing but.
Now, how long has this been going on, Nick?
They've been here since 3 o'clock this afternoon. We understand it was a smaller crowd which gathered this afternoon, and it was about 7 o'clock that we started to get alerts from our national desk that they were throwing projectiles out in front of CNN Center, doing graffiti. We showed up about a half hour later, and within minutes, things took a turn. Here comes another object being thrown by a demonstrator in a mask. Now more reinforcements being brought in, coming behind our photographer, William Walker. What's going on, Kevin?
So what they're doing is...
They're calling for more shields, guys. Things are getting really bad
So,
out here,
Nick,
Chris.
what they're going to do is they're going to create what they call a phalanx, okay? You're going to create an angle of these shields. And what they're going to then have to make a decision to do is to either hold, which is they expect these windows to be broken and people to advance. And this is going to be the line that the officers draw, that you will not come any further than this. The decision that's more complicated for them is whether or not to move forward, because they only have where this white guy with the skateboard is standing. That's the only way out of the building for them. And they will not fit through there.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is a very dangerous thing to do. So they are doing a stand and hold right now. What are you hearing?
Well, it's pretty clear that these officers are nervous. They're seeing this situation de-escalate. They're trying to, as you say, hold this line here. And to the credit of the police officers, so far we have seen them not use much force while they've been having these large objects thrown at them. They are establishing their presence right now. There's no doubt about that, holding this line here, Chris. And, we're watching it happen right in front of us.
They are preparing for what they anticipate to be a rush in the building.
Red Beams putting on this individual here in front of you, the man with the skateboard. You've got, weapons pointed at him. This is just so sad to see happen here.
And that's what the umbrella is about, is to try to block the officer's vision of what's going on. The question becomes, once this guy with the skateboard succeeds and breaks the window, what does it mean to the crowd? Is that the satisfaction they want, or are they going to try to advance? And God forbid they do, you're going to have a very different situation.
Well, we'll be live right here covering it all, Chris. We're right behind the police line. They're clearly, the officers are outnumbered. Those demonstrators are going back, they're very deep, going back towards Centennial Olympic Park. I feel as though I believe I just heard what I thought was a taser deployed. I don't see any window that was on the other end of it. We're seeing more shields, more reinforcements come into that line. Police officers telling their colleagues, directing them to where they need more reinforcement. We're seeing now more demonstrators come to the front. They seem like they're antsy, Chris. They seem like they're ready to charge. This is not a good look. This is not a good sign here for these officers on the other side of it. And certainly not for the demonstrators who are coming towards us.
All right, so Nick, let's just go through this one step at a time. First, you and the team have a secondary location for you. If they come through here and the police start going, you have a way to get up the stairs?
We absolutely do. We've managed to put ourselves in a position where, our viewers can see what's going on, though, we know safety, and there's no story worth risking your life over, Chris. We know that. I've got a daughter and a wife I want to get home to tonight.
You got a beautiful family. I see them all the time. You're a lucky man. You just make sure that the team has a place to go. You can always report later. And again, this is a tough situation because you have a small opening. And if they break the other window, then you have a bigger opening for the protesters to come in, although that would be a really, really dangerous thing for them to do. And then you also have another option for the officers to try to move the line farther outside CNN. The big question becomes, Nick, do we have any way of knowing what's happening with that crowd outside in terms of policing? Or is this it? Just these cops here? You said there's a larger police presence. Where?
There is a larger police presence, just east of me here, Chris. You have the majority of those officers here. That's where their reinforcements are coming from. The crowd is, we hate to give these estimates because we haven't talked to police, but there was over 1,000 people here, perhaps even closer to 2,000 people here. Officers outnumbered. They did bring in those reinforcements, the SWAT team, members of the bomb squad, state patrol, local police officers, plain clothes. They've given these orders already to these demonstrators to disperse. They were starting to gear up with tear gas masks, ready to deploy tear gas, when all of a sudden these windows started breaking and those projectiles continue to fly in the direction of the police, Chris. There's another one.
Wow.
Gosh.
So, just so people understand what's going on, this is a big building, and this is an expansive lobby here. You are not in the newsroom. This is the front of the
Chris,
corporate office.
this used to be the world's largest indoor amusement park, the wacky world of Sid and Marty Krofft, before Ted Turner bought this and turned it into what is the Omni Center and then became CNN. This used to be the site of an roller coaster. It still has the world's longest freestanding escalator. Thousands of CNN employees are here. It's connected to a hotel.
Wait, hold on a second. Nick,
right now.
Nick, are those guys in front preparing to light something on fire? You see how they're wrapping his hand up right now?
Looks like it.
They're either wrapping his hand up because he's going to punch the glass and he wants something to protect his hand, but I saw him pouring something on it. Maybe he hurt his hand, and they're just trying to wrap his hand. Just keep an eye on that situation. Hopefully he just is taking care of a wound, so if he cut himself, he's not going to bleed too much. Good, that's what it seems to be.
Well, they've already lit things on fire so far, Chris. They lit a police car on fire at about 8 o'clock that was just, still smoldering. They've lit signs on fire. This is a crowd that came to confront police. They're angry. And we can't underscore, on the cursory level, you see the violence that is happening and it unfolding right in front of our cameras. They're here under the premise because a black man was killed by police. They want to hold police accountable. Their message, however, has taken a violent tone here, and we don't hear the mention of George Floyd's name at all. We just see the violence happening here in front of us.
Well, this is a bizarre scene. for people who aren't used to this. You have some people are laughing, some people are
They
videotaping.
just threw something on fire, Chris. A firecracker. It's on fire. Shit.
Nick, you all right?
You okay? You okay? You okay, guys? You all right? Is everyone okay? You all right, William? Okay, we're okay. Our crew's okay. I just threw a firecracker in on us. What was that?
So like,
A pretty powerful fire, right?
it might have been a flashback.
Pumping a little bit.
It might have been a flashback. They may have gotten their hands on an undetonated flashback that the police use, which does exactly what you just saw. Everybody's okay?
Good gracious, they just put something else on fire. Everything is okay, but they just set something else on fire outside, Chris. We don't want to get any closer than here, but can you see what's going on? You pushing on that? Oh, okay. These demonstrators are starting out to make their way back towards the park.
Well,
They're loading. We understand my producer Kevin Conlon says that they're loading tear gas canisters up right now.
but if that's tear gas that's in front of there,
Officer Deputy's telling us to move. Chris, I gotta go.
yeah, Nick, if that's tear gas, you're gonna want to get away from
the
it
other side.
because it's gonna come up the stairs fast.
We're getting out of here, Chris.
All right, get yourself to a safer
Get out
location.
of here. We'll get back to you later. You got it. Thanks, buddy.
All right. So here's what we've been watching. Okay, you're actually not looking at Minneapolis. On your screen, you'll see it's Atlanta. That is the CNN World Headquarters. Police had been outside, and then as the crowds advanced on CNN, they were on top of the CNN logo and spray painting things on it. They started to light cars on fire and become increasingly violent. We had the police move inside CNN, and then the windows of CNN were broken. And then, so you had a big point of ingress, but then you had what we were showing you for the last few minutes, a standoff where you had rows of protesters, or whatever you want to call them, demonstrators, angry, agitated individuals, up against the face of a phalanx of police inside CNN World Headquarters. Nick Valencia took cover after what appeared to be what they call a flash bang, which does what it sounds like. And now you see canisters coming, which are probably some kind of deterrent spray, either a pepper spray or tear gas. And the officers are obviously trying to clear the area in Atlanta as you watch on your screen. Again, this is not Minneapolis. There were two sides to the police presence. There was one small group inside CNN, and then a larger group down the street where there had been more violence.
Y'all, things is getting out of hand, ain't it? I woke up to that this morning, y'all. I was like, I mean, I wasn't waking up to that because I don't wake up at no 4 o'clock in the morning now. But if I keep hearing something constantly, it's going to disturb my spirit. And it's going to make me wake up like, what's going on? What's going on? Like I did with 211. I looked at 211 with, like, I don't drink that, y'all. It's too strong for me. But I've tried it. But 9/11, y'all. 9/11, I was shaking. I was knocked out sleeping. When I hear something in my sleep, my spirit be shook. And I was wake up out my sleep like it's something happening, you know, like right to me right now. And that's how I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, what's going on? Something going on. And my phone, I went to sleep with my phone. So that was on. And I was like, oh my God, it's ridiculous, y'all. So y'all just be careful. And we just gonna put it in God's hand and let God work this out, because that's the only person, that's who I put my issues in, God's hand. When I'm in a situation and I can't deal with it, or somebody is attacking me, or something is going on in my life and I can't deal with it, I put it in God's hand. I put it in God's hand, y'all. So we gonna put this in God's hand. Let God work this thing out. Cause baby, Kellen done. I'm done. I can't even tell y'all how I think right now. All I know is, ooh, what? Y'all be careful. And I didn't plan on what to say, so that's why I showed most of the news video, because I just woke up and wanted to share that with y'all, the late breaking news. So y'all stay tuned for my next video later on today, and just be safe out there, and love you guys.